Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, Gem Mint 10, or a 1985 Nike Air Jordan 1 sneakers, the red, white, and black.
1986 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 10 all day long, because that's something I would give to my grandchildren and feel very confident and comfortable about it.
If you gon' go, then go, don't tell me you won't. I want them diamonds on my neck to make me look like I'm cold. That ain't for you and none of these hoes, that's just for me and my bros. I gotta fight for my balls, I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on a roll, we about to get all this dough. We ain't no fuck niggas, no, I swear to God we the go.
So you said you were on a podcast before.
I was on a podcast.
How long and what was that for?
I would say it was in 2020, and it was by a company called GF&F, which was like a Discord sneaker resale group turned like they have a big community in Discord all about like how to arbitrage Amazon, FBA, sneakers, Supreme, that flip life, and it was just all that type of stuff.
What's your thought on Discord?
Oh my God, I was thinking
Because
the
like
same thing.
to
Let's
me-
go.
Because
I
like,
was
to
thinking
me,
the
this-
same
What's
shit.
my thought
Because
on
like
Discord?
Discord is like I've been
Messy.
I've been getting more into like AI.
It's messy.
I've been getting more into like AI and like you can hook your Discord up to AI and shit, whatever.
Yes.
But like to me, Discord, Slack, all these things, it's like to me they try to make it organized, but it's just like mumbo jumbo.
I mean, Discord is just like any other platform, meaning you have to spend time in there. It has to be
For sure.
organized.
Of course.
Like you go on your Instagram DMs. I feel like Zio, his Instagram DMs might be like there's a lot in there.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying? And so like you got to go through.
What about
you
your
gotta-
Instagram DMs? Fuck it, we're gonna stop the podcast. We're gonna just get screen record some Instagram DMs.
But like it's like that, right? Like your Discord, you open it
But-
up and you have 800 unread messages.
Exactly. But I feel like that's why Discord is different though, is because like for me, you could be in, for example, you could be in like an NFT Discord, insert whatever, and they could have 20,000 people in there.
Yeah.
Now, 20,000 people talking could be so messy, like to just
It
like
is
go
messy.
through everything and like. So to me, it's like, I don't know. I feel
What-
like there's
what's your
gotta
view
be
on
a
it?
better
Do you
way.
like
I
it?
love Discord so much.
Really?
You're an expert?
Oh,
Okay.
Expert. I mean, I've used Discord for like 7 years.
Right.
Because it was every sneaker group. Like when I was flipping sneakers, everyone was in Discord because there's so many add-ons that you can put in Discord. We would have like sneaker monitors, so we would monitor Nike and Adidas and Supreme and Foot Locker and Foot Action, and like the only way you were like good at the sneaker game was through Discord.
How did you get in the sneaker game? Is the real question.
How did I get?
Because
in
like
the
you're a big
sneaker game?
collectibles guy, and we'll get into that. But like,
Hold
how
on.
did you get in
So-
the sneaker game?
But Discord is great because you can build. You can just. It's just incredible. There's so much utility within Discord. You can
Interesting.
develop bots. I don't know like all the fucking details, like because I'm not a tech guy, but I'm just a user of Discord, and like
Right.
you can do /XYZ and like shit will pop up. You can do monitor this website, pull in all the links from Supreme, and it'll pull in all the data, all the stuff you want. There's a lot of like utility that
for
people
sure.
Do you
I've been
do you-
noticing that.
Do you think it's similar to Reddit? Like, I think Reddit.
No, I was gonna say I don't think it's like Reddit.
I don't think it's like Reddit,
but
bro,
Reddit
because
is
it's like
so much cleaner.
I mean,
It's so much
Reddit's
cleaner,
going
and
through
it's
some different
similar.
shit right now.
It's similar to Discord.
I mean,
I-
kind of.
similar.
I think
Discord is
Slack.
like-
I think Slack is more similar to Discord
for sure.
Reddit is more closely to like Twitter-esque.
Of
I,
course,
I
but
agree with that.
It's
not-
definitely more. It's
Slack and Discord are very interchangeable.
Very.
I do think Reddit is more closely to Twitter, but the reason I say it's Discord is because they have the crazy usernames and it's all anonymous. That's where I'm associating
For sure.
them
Makes
together.
sense.
It's
But
just
people
cleaner.
on Twitter are also anonymous.
Some,
You have
but it's not
I'm-
famously like
I
that.
think
It's
every
newly
social.
like that.
I think every social is like that because
Besides,
we
like,
talk because
Facebook.
we talked about like YouTube, right? Like YouTube. I feel like when we post on YouTube, there's like not many bots on YouTube, but you'll also get a guy who's like user 69874, but he's had a channel for 10 years and and you can like look and it's like he's commented like 5 times in your shit.
But
and you're like,
but the reason it's
what
like
the
that is
fuck?
because people don't post on YouTube.
exactly.
That's why.
She's got a lot of cover pages.
Yeah, you just got a lot of continuous guest or create an account in it. It's like the TikTok shit. Like, for TikTok, where you can create 30 different TikTok accounts before you know it.
for sure.
Like crazy. But I want to
Yeah.
reset the room since we've really jumped into this podcast. We have on James Cook, who to give people some background, before we moved out to New York and New Jersey, we had a mutual connection with James through Kevin Fees, aka Get Your Keys with Kevin Fees.
Get Your Keys.
Wow.
Who's been on
Get
the
Your
pod.
Keys.
baby, big fees.
Big Fees.
He's been on the pod 2-3 times.
2 times. He's been on
Two
two times.
You know, maybe 4 times with the Darker Lane demo tapes that we never got released. But
For sure.
you know, Kevin introduced us to James. So it was someone we knew coming out here. We've obviously been trying to get James on. James is huge in the collectible space, NFT space, and we're going to get into the collectibles. He's kind of already talked about, you know, flipping sneakers. So, James, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
Pleasure to
having
have
me.
you.
It's a pleasure being here.
Hey, man. You're
First
welcome.
of many. First of
Yeah.
many. 'Cause we're going to chop it up more.
Yeah,
This is just
for
the
sure.
first rendition.
James is going to be our trading card collectible NFT expert on the show.
And I am going to ask you a couple questions later in the show about collectibles. I have a little game, this or that, I'm going to play with you. And I'm
Okay.
going to ask you
I love
what
this
you
or
would
that.
prefer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it could be an interesting
Hot
little
takes,
game.
right?
Hot takes.
Yeah,
Hot
yeah,
takes
yeah.
only. Hot takes only.
Yeah.
We created it just for you.
Just for you.
Just
I
for
just
me.
did some
Wow,
research before
I'm
you came.
humbled.
And I was kind of like, this could
You
be
did?
a little fun game. Because, like, I
You had
kind
some
of
notes,
I
baby.
kind of work in the I don't want to say where I work. Sorry, beep. Where I work, relatively in the collective space. You could say that.
Yeah, emerging.
You know, or they just buy everything in it.
Our expert said emerging, so
For sure.
book it.
Book it.
Book it.
But as we dive back into the conversation, James, talk us through. Obviously, you're from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into the collectible space? What was the reason you got into it? And obviously, like the collectible space is what brought you out here, essentially. So, kind of just walk us through that story.
Amazing. I first discovered eBay in 8th grade, and it changed my life forever. And why it changed my life forever is because I was always like flipping shit. Like I always was like flipping Pokemon cards. I would actually take that back. Probably like 7th grade, I rediscovered Pokemon cards and I was selling them on eBay. And I just was like a big collectibles guy. And then I was selling Pokemon cards. I always was an entrepreneur. I was like on Facebook fucking selling. We would make paracord, paracord bracelets.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
My brother and I would make paracord bracelets and sell them on Facebook. I was just like always selling shit, Halloween candy, so on and so forth. And then, yeah, I discovered eBay and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. You can literally sell anything at any time to anyone. And I was like, this is incredible. And then I was going into freshman year of high school. One of my buddies in the summer, we were just hanging out, playing golf, doing what homies do. And he's like, yeah, my brother's into flipping sneakers. And I was like, interesting. Like, tell me more. And so I talked to his brother. He explained to me kind of the entire sneaker market, what Jordans are, what Yeezys are, why people care. And so I was just like, this is very interesting. And he's like, yeah, you can, it's a business. You can make money from it. And so I was like, I'm in. And so I spent the next many hours and days and months researching really sneakers. Sneakers was like the first thing that got me into collectibles and resell and flipping. And so, yeah, that's sneakers. And Ty Vanderveld is the homie. His brother was the one who put me onto sneakers.
So I'm curious about sneakers because I have a couple
Yeah.
buddies that are kind of like fuck with sneakers, sell sneakers. You probably need a lot of capital to like really fuck with the sneaker game, right? Or is it like you got one pair, flip that pair, got 2 pairs, and I try to flip those 2 pairs, or was it like, hey mom, dad, like this is my idea, can I try it? Or were you like, I'm gonna like flip one pair?
Bro, that's a great question. It was definitely, my parents thought I was fucking crazy.
For sure.
Especially my mom.
Because there's nothing that ever happened before that.
Yeah.
Like there was no person before that was like, oh yeah, I made $1 million on eBay selling sneakers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to explain.
Yeah, and it was Supreme too. Like sneakers and Supreme, both in like 2015 when I like got into the game. Those were like the 2 hot. I guess you can consider them collectibles. It was just like culture.
For
Like
sure.
everyone cared. When the Red Octobers dropped in February of, I want to say 2014, maybe 2015.
Whatever.
People are
Yeah.
going to fucking
fill in the
fact check
blank,
me.
whatever.
When the Red Octobers dropped and they broke the internet and it changed the sneaker game forever, right? Nike was like, okay, this is
Right.
limited shoes, People went crazy, sold out in 2 minutes, broke the website. People were selling pairs for 10x what they paid for 20 minutes after they dropped. And so that is like what ignited all of sneakers again, like the sneaker culture again. And I was just like right there early when Supreme and sneakers were like re-emerging again. And so to your point about like, dude, I started with like $200
Right.
that I just saved up from birthdays and Christmases.
Right. And what was the first pair you bought? Like first pair of shoes you bought to flip? If you remember.
I remember the first pair of the first pair of sneakers I ever bought to flip were Supreme Nike SB Dunks, blue velvet. They were like $108 and I flipped them for like $250. And I was like hooked, right? Like that's crazy.
How did you flip it? Was it limited edition?
Yeah,
Like,
they were limited. Supreme dropped them. Supreme and Nike collaboration. These Dunks. I don't remember like what they're exactly called, but they were like these teal, like velvety blue shoes. And first,
did you like wait at the store and like wait for the drop or online? Okay.
Yeah, I was always an online guy.
Okay.
You know, like in the sneaker game, there's always people who were in store, right?
Right.
If you lived in New York City, you would go in store because all your stores would get sneakers.
For sure.
But in Michigan, it was pretty dry out
Yeah,
there.
you ain't getting shit in Michigan.
So you had to go online,
for sure.
right?
No, I was just curious. 'Cause I always remember like watching like Entourage, and they'd always be like getting their boys like waiting for sneakers and shit. I'm like, dude, that's like such the culture. They got like they just know a guy who's gonna like wait in line for them to buy
That's how
this
it
limited
was.
edition sneaker just to get that. And it's like to me that's insane.
Yeah.
Wait, so would you say you're a sneakerhead or you just like the
Yeah,
game?
I'm a sneakerhead, bro.
Okay.
I would say I'm a sneaker reseller.
To this date though, what's your like all-time favorite shoe? You're like, bro, that shoe is the fucking shoe. You're like, I if I could buy one shoe, I'm like, bro, I'm buying that shoe.
My head initially went to so I've touched so many different sneakers, but the one shoe that is just like so memorable is the Sean Witherspoon Air Max 97-1.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh, really?
I've heard the name. I've heard the name.
We're gonna pop it up right
I
here
was
for
gonna
everyone
say, pop
watching.
it up before I get my phone out.
Yeah, we're gonna pop
Bro,
it up right here.
That shoe was incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible. Sean Witherspoon owns Round 2, which is like a resale shop, like vintage tees, sneakers, apparel, hypebeast shit. And he won a contest to design his own sneaker, his own Air Max sneaker.
Right.
And bro, it's the sickest sneaker ever.
So did you ever buy it?
Yeah, I had a couple pairs.
I love that.
Did you wear them? You
Oh, no. I see, like you asked me if I was a sneakerhead. I never really rock sneakers. I just flip sneakers.
For sure. I was gonna say I was like
does that make
I'm like a real
for sure.
businessman.
I mean, that's a sneakerhead.
no, 100% it is because listen,
Sneakerheads sneakerheads rock their shit.
for sure. Okay,
I never rock shit. I just flipped it
listen.
he's just a businessman.
Yeah,
See,
I'm
I
just a
saw.
businessman.
Hey, there was a guy in our office the other day, and he owns Pull Wax down in Miami.
Yeah.
If you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he was rocking
The real Pull man.
Nike. He was rocking the Nike Tiffany collab shoes, and all I could think about was, bro, why the fuck you wearing those? Like, I would be flipping those bitches so fast. Like in my head, bro, I don't give a fuck if I'm wearing shoes with holes in them. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, bro, I'd be flipping them because I'm all about the money. I don't care if someone looks at me and they're like, bro, you look rich.
Yeah,
like,
but
bro,
it's a culture,
for sure.
Yeah.
And I love the culture. Like, I tell Zach all the time, I was like, bro, if I had money, I'd have a fucking I'd have every fucking shoe you could imagine. But I'm like, if I don't got it, then I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I know.
But my question is, how much did the game change when StockX kind of came into play?
See, I was on the
That's a
emergence
Detroit
of
company,
StockX.
isn't it? Or
Yeah,
the guy who
is.
owns it.
Shout out Josh Luber,
Yeah.
the GOAT, man.
Chris
But-
Kaufman as well as a co-founder.
Yeah.
EMU.
And
Love that.
Dan Gilbert. But man, StockX was the greatest thing that happened to sneakers. It's what made sneakers so much of a business. It literally
for
connected buyers and sellers in a seamless way. And man, like people will hate StockX because undercut and you can get it, you can charge people more money, but it just made it's the stock market of sneakers.
Well,
It made buying and selling sneakers so accessible, so easy to do.
For sure.
You didn't even have to take a picture of the fucking sneaker. You buy it, you walk out Foot Locker, and you sell it
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, it's just a safer, easier way. It's a marketplace.
They just verify it, right?
Yeah, they
Essentially,
verify
they're just a third party verifier.
Yeah. But the real thing for us was like, bro, you knew if someone was going to purchase. You can literally look at the bids of a sneaker you're about to buy. If you know a Jordan 1 is releasing and you're going to pay $180, but you know someone on StockX is going to pay $250 because there's a bid sitting there with a credit card ready to pay, then you're like, okay, like this makes sense. Like there's an arbitrage here.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
You can sell a shoe before you even get the shoe.
Yeah.
I need to walk this back.
Okay.
So you're saying on StockX, people would have a bid for a shoe, $250 was your example, and in store it was $100.
Yeah, but
they don't have the shoe.
Well,
how is it listed?
So like on release day, this is what a lot of people did. Back to your point about like how do you get capital, and this is like there's risk involved a little bit, but like let's say I'll actually just start over because like I don't even want to go down that's the credit of like just buy sneakers on your credit card, sell them immediately, and then
I feel you. I already
you know what I'm saying, but like that's like a little risky. But like okay,
idea.
so like let's say a Jordan 1 is releasing, and you know it's limited because not every store is only 4 stores in New York City are getting them instead of 50, right? You know it's limited. People are talking about it on Twitter. People are talking about it on Instagram. Oh, I want this. That's how you know. You can tell what people are talking about.
Yeah.
So the Jordan 1 releases. You know, you go, you purchase a pair. It costs you $180. Based on its supply and demand. That's the greatest thing ever. And that's why StockX is so good, is because it's a free market of what's the supply of a sneaker versus what's the demand. If 100 people want the sneaker, but there's only 20 sneakers, there's going to be a price that someone's going to have to pay, right? And so
I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, the resale of sneakers is so popular. Why does a company like Nike or Supreme not find a way to be a part of the secondary market? Because the secondary market is arguably bigger.
It is bigger.
So it's bigger than the actual market. So it's like, why does a company like Nike not find a way into the secondary market? Is that where like NFTs are going to come into play?
Yes, that's all I can think. That's all I thought about is exactly.
I'm just because like I don't know, like because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like they're leaving so much money off the table. You said 10x. You know what I'm talking about? I know that's not every shoe, right? But I'm saying like on these big time shoes, limited drop, they're 10xing, maybe 20xing, depending on the shoe. Who knows, right? Why would like as Nike? How are you like? Maybe it's for Nike. They're like it's good for them because they just like their brand stronger. But I'm like, man, they're leaving like so much money on the
marketing,
table. It's marketing,
bro.
I guess it is.
If you can get people every weekend to line up in crowds across the country to buy your sneakers, Nike could easily release a Travis Scott Nike shoe drops. Nike only makes a very limited edition run. They could drop millions of pairs and make all the money in the world, but they don't want to do that because the exclusivity, the marketing, the people saying, "Yo, like, they building demand with limited edition sneakers."
Nothing's better than like word of mouth either. Like when people like if you recommend something to someone, like if you were like, "Hey, Joshua, you need to go to this place in New York City." In my head, I'm like, "Fuck, I got to go to that place." Yeah. So it's like when your boys are all like talking like, "Bro, you need the fucking Jordan 1s."
Yeah.
You know.
Man, what size shoe were you buying it? That's why I've always been.
Size, I would buy. It's very interesting because each size has a different price, right?
Of course.
I would literally buy any single size sneaker from grade school, size 4 youth, all the way up to 16.
When
I have flipped every size in between.
That's crazy.
I have 4 youth to 7 youth, 8 men's to 16 men's. There's a market for everyone.
To me, I'm just thinking like 9.5, 10. So
I would buy 10.5 because I have flipped 2 shoes in my life.
What
2.
Shoes?
Don't ask me. I'm the farthest thing from a sneakerhead, bro.
That's fair.
What I did, it was when I first started like getting into like the Gary V, like garage selling, flip shit, and like I just started like looking at things differently, right? And I went to a Nike outlet, and I found 2 pairs of shoes I really liked, and I was like, interesting. I was like, let me just go on eBay really quick.
Yeah.
And like on eBay, they were like $50 more than what they were in the store. I'm like, am I missing something here? And I was like, I'm just going to buy them. But I bought them in 10.5 because I was like, if they don't sell, like worst case, I can wear them, right?
Yeah.
And I sold them both. I have no
Nice.
idea. But I actually wish I kept one of the Nike pairs. It was like this like
It was
black,
cool, right?
It was like Nike black and mint.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I've never like seen it. It was like kind of cool. I actually regret not keeping it. Or it was gray and mint.
Yeah.
Actually, gray, white, and mint. And
It's funny you say that. You're like, yo, I wish I kept it, because that's what drives the market.
For sure.
Is the demand. It's all supply and demand, which is just like the greatest joy in my life, is like why certain things are certain prices, and it's all based on supply and demand. Like, why are there luxury apartments that rent for $50,000 a month? Because there's only a certain number of them, and then there's a demand that fills it, and it's everything, right? And so sneakers is just like a fun example of that.
To me, like sneakers are just like it's never gonna go anywhere for me, because it's like people are wearing sneakers. When you wear a sneaker, they get dirty, creased, whatever. Like, fuck, I need a new pair.
Yeah, but there's an interesting thing there, is like sneakers are literally rubber and glue.
Yeah.
And so if we're talking about generational investments, shit you can pass down to your grandchildren, sneakers aren't the best option. Because
of course not.
Because you rock a fucking sneaker from 20 years ago, the first time you take a step, it's going to crumble.
For sure.
And that's where like why I like sports cards and baseball cards and basketball cards, is because there's fucking baseball cards from the 1901 that are still around.
So you touched cards, and we obviously, one of our best friends has a card show. He obviously was someone we looked to in like the card market for like tips, because we've obviously looked at it. We actually did a vlog on it where we went to a card shop. We actually tried to go back to that card shop and like just toasted them in that vlog, if you remember.
Yeah, I do. Whatever it was called.
What is it?
Three Kings.
Three Kings. Fuck,
oh, really?
Fuck Three Kings.
Yeah, fuck Three Kings.
Yo,
Fuck
chill.
Fuck Three
I
Kings.
know Three Kings, bro.
Yeah.
No, we actually loved them. We actually we had two good vlogs there. Like we had a
That's
vlog.
so funny. You probably just cut that shit out.
Hey.
But yo, I had a call with the dude who owns Three Kings.
No, I actually like him.
Ago.
Actually, like we were
will not
mad
cut
one
that
day
out.
because we drove. we hey, on there. No, this is why we're mad at Three Kings, and I hope they hear this. We did one vlog there, got like 10,000 views with my buddy on his page for like some Michael Jordan set. We go back, we shoot another vlog, had a great experience, and we told everyone in the vlog, we're like, this is a fucking great experience. We love this place. We go back a third time, and on the third time, we drive there. Everything says it's open. There's literally 30 people waiting outside this card shop. 30 people. No one showed up. Literally the whole day. We waited there for what, an hour and a half?
Really?
No one showed up.
It
No
might
one.
have been more.
No one came. Yeah, maybe more. And they didn't call anybody. They didn't even put on like their Instagram, like, "Hey, sorry, we're closed today," or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
it
but
was just like, "Hey,
it's life,
hey."
man.
All I gotta say is, if you are a card shop owner, that community is tight knit. You should be communicating with that tight knit community,
Yeah.
because let me tell you, there were 20 dudes who go to that shop regularly. They were like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" They were calling this dude, texting this dude, like they were pissed, and I was like, "That's not a way you treat your tight knit market," and that's why we said fuck Three Kings.
You know, I had some money I wanted to spend. I wanted to buy
And we
some
wanted to give them
cards.
money. I'm like, bro, we were trying to
I
spend
know,
money,
I know,
bro.
I know. I get it.
We're trying
No,
to pay rent.
I get it.
Trying to pay your rent.
Especially if like no communication. It says he's gonna be open. He's not open.
But hey,
But
I
you
will
never
say-
know. Dude could have fucking slipped getting out of
No,
the
they
bathroom.
were at a golf outing.
No, they
got
were
drunk
they
at a
were they were
golf
at
outing.
golf outing drinking, and that's what we found out, and
Yeah.
that's what made us pissed, because they were like,
no,
you
no.
could have easily. They got drunk early and didn't want to open the card shop, and it's like, bro, you could have communicated that.
Yeah.
That's a communication thing.
But give us some basic tips for trading cards if you're trying to buy, sell, hold, whatever. Like, give us like 2-3 like basic tips you would look for from a beginner to get into it.
A couple basic tips. 1, make an eBay account. 2, spend a lot of time on eBay searching the following. Okay, actually, like PSA, Beckett, BGS, and SGC are grading companies, right? And so the sports card market, especially when we're talking about investments, you want to look towards graded and authenticated cards. And those 3 companies that I mentioned grade and authenticate sports and trading cards such as Pokemon. And my recommendation is, in what I did when I first, the reason I got into sports cards is because Gary was like, all these sneakerheads, like you guys are having trouble getting inventory at scale. And I was like, yes, it's very true. having a hard time getting 100 pairs of Yeezys and 100 pairs of Jordans. Where can I deploy more capital? And so sports cards came about. And so what I did when I was like first introduced in the sports card market was went on eBay and just searched LeBron James PSA, Mickey Mantle PSA. And I was just looking at cards, man. You can literally just type in on eBay PSA 10 and it's going to show you cards. And you just look at different cards and like understand the market and like look up players, look up fucking Steph Curry PSA. All I would do literally for 3 months every single day is go on eBay and look at prices of cards.
And not buy anything.
No, don't buy anything.
So really just study the market.
Yeah, study the market.
So
that's a long way of me saying.
So let me ask, would you say cards over sneakers? As someone who's trying to get into the hobby, would you recommend starting at cards?
They're two different markets.
But like you said, like if you're someone who's just starting in like the hobby collectible space, would you recommend just so you can scale more with cards, or do you think, nah, if you're a sneakerhead, stay with sneakers?
It's interesting because everything ebbs and flows in life. It's like a roller coaster.
For sure.
You know, sometimes you're up here and then you hit the big old drop and you're down here. And that's the same market as like sneakers right now. I wouldn't touch sneakers with a 7-foot pole. There's no market right now.
Right.
People aren't lining up at Foot Locker and waiting 2 days to buy Jordans anymore because the supply has increased and the demand has decreased, right? So there's not that arbitrage as there was. And even honestly in the sports card market, the same thing. During the pandemic, the demand was insane, right? It was just going bonkers. And now, just where the economy is overall as a whole across the globe, people are looking and turning to more safer investments. And so right now, honestly, like at this, whatever this date, June 12th, 2023, like I would say both, but not as an investment, as a hobby.
Right.
You know?
I think that's what the collectible space is. It's a hobby, but it can turn into something that is an investment, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of want to wrap things up, and I want to play a little game called This or That. And I'm glad that we talked.
And This or That is brought to you by Bulletproof Coffee. You know, the next time you get a nice cup of coffee, make sure it's bulletproof. Make sure it's, clean, mold tested. The U.S. and Canada do not regulate their coffee, and Bulletproof does. So, next time you grab your coffee from Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, maybe rethink about it. Go to bulletproof.com.
All right. Bulletproof Coffee, This or That. I'm going to give you two options. You pick which one you would prefer.
Okay.
And this is funny because I asked you what you would prefer, card or sneaker. So I got a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, Gem Mint 10, or a 1985 Nike Air Jordan 1 sneakers, the red, white, and black. Which one would you have? And I'm going to tell you the retail prices after what they've sold for.
1986 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 10 all day long, because that's something I would give to my grandchildren and feel very confident and comfortable about it. And the last price on that is probably $180,000.
No, way more. Way more.
When'd you comp that, brother?
I comp this. I don't know.
There's one right now.
Hey, you're talking to an expert.
There's one right now on eBay for like $184,000.
So the one that I just saw.
Yeah.
I believe this one sold in 2022.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. For like 300, 400.
No. This one sold for $840,000. Yeah, so if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the highest selling price ever. But right now. Right
now. And again, we'll show the current price right here.
Yeah. Look on eBay. There's one on Alt
sure.
XYZ right now for like $183,000.
Yeah, but the Nike Air Jordan 1 sneakers sold like a couple months ago for $615,000.
Yeah.
Which is the first rendition. What's up?
Were they signed?
I don't know if they were signed.
Was it the set that he actually wore, game worn?
They were game worn. They were game worn.
They sold where, at Christie's?
No, it was a different auction site. I forget what it's called. Not the Jersey one, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, on to the next one.
Okay.
This is going to be more video game. So I try to give you every category because I wanted to throw you.
I like video games.
I want to throw a wrench in you.
Yeah, I dabbled in video games. I have some graded Grand Theft Auto 5
All right.
Saw it.
Actually, nope. I
What's
take
the-
that back.
this is
This
that?
next one is still cards.
Okay.
So this one, and this is going to be a very close one. A 1939 Superman #1
Yep.
graded. It's graded at an 8, and that was the first rendition
Yep.
of Superman from DC Comics, or a 2009 Steph Curry 1/1 rookie card signed. Which one would you rather get?
Fuck. Superman all day wrong. All day, man.
The Superman one
All day.
is retail. It sold for $5.3 million, and then the Steph Curry one sold in 2022 for $5.9 million,
Yeah.
beating LeBron James's for
yeah,
5.7.
that Steph Curry went crazy. Yeah. No, but
Beat
Superman
James.
all
That's-
day.
That's
James.
that one. I feel like is
It's a good
timeless.
one. I like
it's
it.
timeless though. It's timeless.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
1939.
1939.
It's gonna be what is
It's-
that? 90 years old.
Yeah, it's graded at an 8 too. So like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I wonder how many. The population report matters. Back to supply and demand and why I love cards is you can look at the population of every single card ever graded. So you can know there's 2 Supermans graded a PSA 8.
What's
ever.
that website?
I
Because you
think
told me that before.
PSA.com.
Yeah, but that's only if they're PSA'd. If they're anything else,
You can
But it
do
doesn't matter
Beckett.
if
You
they're
can
not
do
PSA.
Beckett and SGC
Okay.
populations.
All right.
Yeah.
But
PSA 's
at the
only
same
one
time,
that matters.
I believe in the article there was only 1,000 made.
Probably.
Only like
Which is like
total.
way less graded.
and that's if that's in 1939 there was 1,000, so it's like there's probably a handful, and probably not that high of grade. All right, on to the next one. This one is we're talking about video games. Would you rather this or that? The Legend of Zelda, and I might be saying this wrong. It's at a WADA 9.0 sealed. And
That's
that's
right.
1987, or a Super Mario Bros. 64 WADA 9.8 sealed.
Super Mario.
The Super Mario is like $1.5 million,
Yeah.
and it sold like last year.
Rally Road sold it.
But if you know anything about games, like Legend of Zelda
yeah,
is
that shit's
blowing
hot.
the fuck up, and I like can't believe it. It's
Never,
insane. Yes,
ever
you've
played that
definitely
game.
heard of it though.
I've heard of it. Never played it. Never will.
All right, and
Ever.
and last one to round out round one with James Cook. A 1999 Charizard Holo first edition Gem Mint 10,
That-
James
or
Yes.
or
It's the greatest single investment you can make in sports cards right
Or-
now, trading cards.
a Black Lotus Magic the Gathering card Gem Mint 10.
I understand the Black Lotus. It's a very good one.
Yeah,
The Black Lotus is more valuable
it is.
right now because there's so few of them.
Right.
But just from a cultural standpoint, and also I love Pokemon, I'm taking the Charizard all day long.
Guys, what the fuck is a Black Lotus?
It's a if you ever remember Magic, I used to play that as a kid. I remember
Oh,
it
really?
back
You
in the
played
back. They
Magic?
like I remember for like a weird period I like had it. So just to give the people at home, just so they know what they are worth, the Charizard Holo that one was around $420,000. At least this was the last sold one I saw. And then the Black Lotus, the Gem Mint sold for $615,000. And that was actually pretty recently.
Still
Yeah.
don't know what a Black Lotus is.
But
But
still pretty crazy.
But James,
Yes.
it's been an absolute.
It's been
fucking
fun.
Yeah,
it went by
bro.
so quick, yo.
Dude,
Like,
hey,
dude,
that's why we're gonna have a round 2.
yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, man.
Yeah, it does.
Bro.
But appreciate you coming on, brother.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Bro.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Won't see my brothers get rich. I tell you I'm in. Watch me get my racks. And we ball so hard they think my niggas selling crack. We was pushing packs for 2600 a pound. We was down, probably had some product in your town. But now we back. Same straight for all my niggas, for all my fam. And I made about 10 racks up off these features in the end. For my grandma, hope she know that this for you and you and him. For my brothers, for my family, for my mama, for my team.